Wouldn't it be nice if they put the participants in alphabetically? It would be easier to
Lots of
find.
luck on that one.
You know
Yeah.
what? One of my classes
your
at
last name,
Encore
Barbara?
did it alphabetically. Last week, I noticed my exercise class, everybody was listed. There were 80 people all listed alphabetically. It was wonderful.
I'll have to
First name
figure
or
out how
last
to do
name?
that.
I don't know how they did it, but it was a surprise,
Huh.
but nice one.
Okay, we have got a good turnout here. We're recording and I think we're ready to get this show on the road. So
For some reason,
what-
I left my, the whole screen was there and now it isn't.
Oh, that's because
I'm
Pat is
I'm sh-
sharing her screen.
I'm sharing right now and that'll be turned off as soon as I get through my little spiel here. So just hang tight and let me see. I don't know if you guys can even see me. Let's see.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
see you in a little.
You can see
You're,
me.
you're in
And
a side by side.
I don't
We
look
see
like a
you.
wet, I don't look like a wet bird.
No, no,
Like
you
this
look
good.
like a person with headphones on.
Thank you.
Or a
Welcome,
hummingbird.
whatever.
Or a bee.
Welcome everyone to the ill-behaved Collage Artists of America virtual reception. It is just fabulous to see everyone, albeit virtually. Several of us will kind of be monitoring the Zoom session. Thankfully, we haven't really had problems. If some miscreant decides to Zoom bomb us, we'll take care of that. Everyone will go in the waiting room for a minute. So welcome. This is the Collage Artists of America reception. And there we go. It's the Collage Artists of America reception. As you are, I'm sure are aware, the whole exhibit, which is fabulous. I got to look at it for a while. I have got to join this group. I love your work. It's fabulous. The exhibit is presented on the website of the San Fernando Valley Arts and Cultural Center with the SCORE project. We need to thank the city and county of Los Angeles for grants funding, both in the past and this year. And that said, I am going to turn this over to the president of, hold on, let me make something go away here, of the Collage Artists of America, Sylvia Golden. Sylvia.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm so happy to see so many people have tuned in, and we welcome all you members, non-members, and guests. We're so proud of this exhibit, Picking Up the Pieces. It was very competitive, 347 entries, and it was a difficult task for our esteemed juror, Monte Westmoreland, to select 89 pieces to be in this show. I want to congratulate everyone that entered the show because your work was beautiful, and those that were accepted, and those that won awards. So before we continue, I'd like you to meet Suzanne Belcher, who will tell us a little bit more about our membership and our new members. Suzanne?
Suzanne, you're muted.
I was just reviewing my script here. Anyway, thank you so much, Sylvia. And thank you, SCORE and SFVACC, San Fernando Valley Arts and Cultural Center, and Pat Bates, who is always wonderful helping us out. She's just fabulous. So thanking all these people for anchoring the reception tonight. And big, big, big congratulations to all who actually got work accepted into our exhibit. As Sylvia said, the competition was tough. And especially big congratulations to our award winners. Even though it was international exhibit, again, getting in this show was pretty prestigious. And it was really exciting to see how many of our members and new members not only got into the show, but are receiving awards. So that is another big congratulations. A little bit about CAA for those of you who may be new members. We actually today, about an hour and a half ago, got a new member, out-of-state member, and I sent her the link to this, and she was in Massachusetts, so I don't know if she got the link, but welcome to her too. Anyway, CAA was founded way back in 1988 and has continued to grow in membership, especially out of state and even internationally in spite of this pandemic. During COVID, all our meetings have been on Zoom. And since we've had so many new out-of-state members, this platform will no doubt be in the mix moving forward. Being virtual has allowed non-locals to join our committees and even become board members right from the comfort of their own home. So we're putting in a plug for those of you who might want to join us. It certainly brought some amazing new talent our way and kept us all connected during these hard times. We only meet 5 times a year. There's 3 more meetings coming up next year, plus at least 2 exhibits being planned for May and November, and they'll be good, believe me, along with special member challenges and a workshop or maybe 2 also. Our annual dues of $50 begins July 1st through July 1st of next year. Although we do not prorate our fee, I really would not discourage anyone who is thinking of joining not to join now. We have a beautiful website, an informative newsletter, and a great Facebook page that you can join online, but that's separate from actually becoming a paid active member of the CAA organization. So as not to confuse anyone, because we've had some people on our Facebook page who think that that means they're members of the organization. It's a little bit different thing. So that's really what I have to say, and welcome to everyone who's here, and congratulations so much. Thank you. Back to Sylvia.
Thank you, Suzanne. As usual, you always give us a lot of good information. This is a chance for me to encourage you all to think about joining our board of directors. Is there someone else talking? If you are interested in inquiring about joining our board, please contact me. You can find my name, my email address on the CA website and in our newsletter. And the website, it's under Contact Us. So looking forward to hearing from some of you. It's now my pleasure to introduce you our esteemed juror, Monte Westmoreland, and I think he might say a few words about his jurying process. By the way, there's some underlying voice going on. Does anybody else hear that?
I do, Sylvia. It's like an echoey thing. I wonder if somebody doesn't have 2 devices on.
Or is not muted.
Okay, or not muted. Anyway, so is Lamont is with us, I hope, and maybe we can find him and have him join us.
I'm here.
Oh, good. Hi, Lamont. Welcome.
My camera's not working, but I'm here.
Okay. So
How is Lamont logged into this? I'm trying to find him. Oh, the camera's not working. Okay, we're going to hear Lamont.
yes, we're going to hear him. Thank you, Lamont.
Okay, let me first start off by saying it was a pleasure to have the committee choose me to be the juror for this prestigious show. And I thoroughly enjoyed looking at all the works. It was very difficult like I say, it was over 300 works, almost 350 works. And looking at all the different subject matters and the different techniques was really rewarding. The first time I went through fairly quickly just to get a gist of what I was looking at. And then at that point, I just kind of slowed down, and it took me a few days and went back and forth about 3 or 4 different times and started picking out pieces and looking at the different techniques and looking at different subject matters. And I just want to say that this group of artists, these almost 350 artists, did a great job of putting together their compositions. A couple of the things that I really look for, and this is just because of my background teaching high school, college, and university design, intermediate design, and 3D design, is I'm just hardcore elements and principles of design when you're building your composition. So that's basically what I look for all the time. I'm judging any kind of show. And I know Sylvie asked me if I would say something to the winners, but I just want to say to all the winners, not individually, the works were fantastic. I was so pleased to see how diverse the subject matters were, and just trying to get into the techniques and seeing how well you put compositions together. And that's the only downfall with judging on Zoom, is because you really can't get your nose right up next to that work of art and check out and see how technically well everything is put together. But we have to do what we have to do. And one of the other things that I was really happy to see was, and Sylvia and I had talked about this before, looking at collage as opposed to works done on the computer, the digital works. And it was kind of hard to kind of separate the two. But basically what I looked at to make a sound judgment was looking at, again, how well they put the elements and principles together to make their composition. So that's what I was dealing with there. Other than that, I just want to say that I appreciate all the artists who took part in this show, and that I would definitely encourage them to get together wherever they're at in their neck of the woods in the country, because I know the artists in Southern Cal, especially the CCA artists here, really take part in a lot of compositions, a lot of shows, and they're always putting the work out there for people to see. And I think that's just a great thing, because every meeting that they have, they go through, and every newsletter that we receive monthly, we go through that information about how many people competed in these different shows, and not just in Southern Cal, but around the country. So that's great to know. So I would just encourage all these people who took part in this show, no matter where they're at, is to keep on making their collage and trying to maybe get with some of your peer groups in your neck of the woods and try to put shows together and get your works out there so people can see what collage is all about. And once you do that, the word is out, the collectors will start looking and start picking up work. But other than that, again, I just like to say thanks to all the people who participated in the competition. It was, again, really hard for me to choose. I wish we had awards for everybody, or at least half the people, but it's not going to happen. So you have to really be a stickler in looking at the works. So with that, I just want to say, again, thanks to the people who participated. Thank you.
Sylvia, you need to unmute. Sylvia?
Yeah, here I am. I'm sorry. I
All
thought.
right,
Unmuted.
life is good.
But I just was saying thank you, Lamont. I know it was a difficult task and you did a splendid job, and the show is just beautiful. Maybe there's an echo on my side because I hear it when I talk. Well, now it's time to think about presenting our awards to all of our wonderful winners.
Thank you.
And I get this echo that's annoying. But anyway, so we should start with, I want to just first mention about the Carol Ann Watterson Award that we give is made possible by a generous endowment from her estate. To honor her memory, the award is given to work that reflects her simplicity and elegant style. And now we'll start, and we'll start with the honorary mentions. And you have to forgive me because my notes got all mixed up.
And Pat is going to share the screen now, and we'll get this sized properly so we can all see it.
So our first honorary mention is to Jean Hess
Oops.
for her piece Pillar.
Okay, hold on a sec.
That's Trudy Sissons. That's all right.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to wait until you announce it, and then I will share
Okay.
it. Hold on one sec. Okay, which one are you on now?
I'm on Jean Hess Pillar. We could have done it the other way.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
I got it positioned wrong. That is my fault. And let's share it. And I think it's good.
Okay. Yes, this is Jean's piece, Pillar, 10 by 9, 10 inches by 9 inches. And Jean, are you wanting to say anything about your piece? Jean, are you here with us?
She is here.
Okay.
I have asked her to unmute. Jean, would you like to say a few words?
I'm happy to, because this piece just makes me happy.
I'm sorry, Jean, could you speak a little louder or get closer to the mic?
Can you hear me now?
No.
Barely.
Barely.
Are you there, Jean?
Yeah, I'm at full volume. Can you hear me now?
Barely.
Well, we'll listen carefully.
Listen.
You know, these things are so complex. We have to forgive each other. I'm at full volume. I have no idea what else to do. This piece makes me happy. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer in starting with what's at hand and then just letting it kind of boomerang and, expand and additively. And I like to have a little time lapse in there. So there's
We lost you.
Yeah, we can't hear you at all now.
and I don't know what to do because
Oh,
my
Now we
mic-
can hear you.
Now we can hear you. Just talk loud.
And people, you can always turn your volume up,
my volume is at full volume.
but everyone else can turn theirs up.
Anyway, I started with those beautiful, soft iris petals that you see on the right. That's what I started with. They just spoke to me and I wanted to do something. And one thing led to another. And I think all of you have been there. You know exactly what I'm talking about. These things create themselves in a lot of ways. And no one is ever more surprised than I am when something seems to click and fall together. So I'm very pleased to have received the award. Thank you all so much.
Well, congratulations, Jean. We're so happy. And Gina's one of our new members and who joined the board recently. And we're so happy and welcome her. And she's been a great asset so far. Thank you, Jean. Okay, for our next award, an honorary award goes to Trudy Sissons for The Alchemist. And this piece is digital, 8 inches by 10 inches. And Trudy, are you here? Is Trudy here? Do you know?
I don't think she is here. I don't see her name in the list.
Right, yeah, but her work is always so outstanding. If you've seen anything of hers on Facebook, you know that her work is just wonderful consistently. And every day she has 2 or 3 pieces.
Plus, she was our last speaker.
And she was our last speaker.
And if you go on the website, you can see the video of our last meeting and see her whole slideshow.
Slideshow, and it's worth it. It's wonderful. All right, our third honorable mention, or not third, but second to the last, Suki Kuss for Dazzle 3. Suki, are you here with us? See, I don't think she is she?
No, I don't see her name here.
Her piece is a collage, 12 inches by 12 inches, and part of a series a new series she's working on. And always beautiful on canvas. And we miss you, Susie, but we'll go on. And the next award that we want to present is to the Carol Ann Watterson Award to Carol Priamo for Waiting for a Song. Waiting for a Song. It's a mixed media piece, 8 inches by 10 inches, and quite lovely. Is Carol with us? I mean,
Yes,
yeah.
I am.
Oh,
Yes.
hi, Carol. Nice to see you.
I'm delighted to be here because I have been a member for the last year, and it was probably one of the best things I've done in my collage sort of work for probably 20 years, because I just find with the group and the shows, it's just very motivating, inspirational. The quality of the work is terrific to be part of this group. And I am so delighted to get this award and was very, very surprised. And I'm glad I found out tonight that it reflected this simplicity and elegance of the person who has offered this award in her estate. And I wondered, because it is, of the ones I submitted, the most simple and fairly direct collage that I did. But I think it's the most meaningful to me because it was done immediately after and again, this is in the newsletter, so it's really, people already have probably read about it, that it is a response to hearing about my brother's passing from COVID. But I didn't really want to make it too, really gloomy. I was actually very relieved that he wasn't suffering to the extent that I saw him suffer through that disease. And so it was more of a message of hope and of what I remember of my brother, being with him, and our relationship. So yeah, it says it's mixed media, but it's partly a hands-on collage, which is the center portion that is actually a tissue box top, which was just something that I introduced because it happened to be the box of Kleenex that I was using at the time and had used it all up. And I really liked that Kleenex box top and the colors in it. And that was more of a hands-on, but then it's integrated with my own photographs of the other parts of it. And then an actual digital blended collage for the background. So in a way, it incorporates, you know, the different processes I use in collage that I like very much to use and sometimes integrate them. So yeah, I'm absolutely overjoyed to get an award from this group. I feel just so honored and privileged. Thank you.
Well, you certainly deserve it. It's a beautiful piece, and I'm so happy you're with us, Carol.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thanks.
Okay, for our third place award goes to Michael John Pittis for his piece Species. And it's a digital 30 by 40. And it speaks clearly what the title says. And I wonder if he is with us tonight.
I don't see his name here.
No, I have a feeling that he was not going to be with us, but I hoped that he might join us. Anyway, this is a beautiful piece. The colors are just lovely. So we will move on then to the second place award, which goes to L. Catherine Roberts for her piece Sophia 1. And it is a collage 6 by 6 inches. And is Catherine with us tonight?
I am, even though my name says Kenny Roberts, using my husband's computer. So I am here and very thankful for the opportunity to get to participate in this show. And also, I was actually very, very surprised by the placement. So much appreciative of that as well. This particular piece, it was during a time I was doing a lot of reading about feminine wisdom throughout the ages and considering both sometimes the dishonoring of that, but also the honoring. And I ended up doing 3 different pieces, Sophia 1, 2, and 3, and this happens to be Sophia 1. And so one of the elements of some of the reading I was doing was talking about the feminine, and not just in women, but perhaps attributes of almost like archetype of feminine being, or taking the stance of and not just either or. And I think I've had a lot of feelings about sometimes in the times we've been leaving, it's either or, and it would be nice for us, including myself, sometimes to remember and a little bit more. And so that's most what this piece was based on. So, and that's really, I don't know that I have much more to add to that, but I do appreciate this opportunity very much.
Well, congratulations. It's a very powerful piece, and it's wonderful to look at. It brings up a lot of thoughts for yourself, for oneself to consider. And thank you very much for the piece, and congratulations again. Okay, so moving on to our first prize, Jennifer Robertson for Female Gaze. And it's a paper collage, cut and paste, 8 inches by 10 inches. And is Jennifer here?
I am.
She is.
Oh, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So would you like to tell us about your piece, Jennifer?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to thank Sylvia for sending me the letter. I think it was, about a week or 2 weeks ago. It totally made my day. I was absolutely thrilled and very, very honored to be part of such a distinguished group of artists. And I'd also like to thank, of course, the juror, Monte Westmoreland. who I discovered also uses Japanese ukiyo-e and kabuki themes in his work. He has a wonderful piece from 2004 titled Black Kabuki with Uncle Ben. So if you haven't seen it, it's really quite an amazing piece. I gave a little bit of a backstory about this piece in the newsletter, and I can get back to that later, but you know, it was the really first collage I was invited to explain in detail. So what I wrote for the newsletter makes my collage making seem much more calculated than it actually is. I work in Japan. I'm a Japan anthropologist. I actually recently retired last year from the University of Michigan. And I get most of my collage materials from Japanese magazines, which have really high quality paper and just wonderful photographs that I collect. And I make a lot of collages there, but I also bring the materials home. And my method is very, very low tech. It's scissors and spray glue and glue. I cut everything out, X-Acto knife, scissors, whatnot, because I'm really interested in the mark of the hand. So I want the mark of the scissors, the X-Acto knife, even the glue to be evident. In all of my collages, all of which I consider to be experiments, I tinker with colors, interesting juxtapositions, and then the general meaning of the, or the general story or a narrative begins to emerge as I work on a piece. And at some point in the process, a theme or a title comes to mind, and then I begin to connect the dots. I still have a kind of an unarticulated feeling about a piece, even when it's finished, and even if I give it a title. But since I was asked for this show, I decided to say something about the actual, the sort of the formal elements, which I think really tie in with you know, the idea of both and that was articulated earlier. So you have a collage that consists of 3 parts, the ukiyo-e print, the Kitagawa, Utamaro's color woodblock print, woman painting her eyebrows from the late 18th century. And Kitagawa Utamaro was known as producing images of beautiful women that were quite voyeuristic. He's intruding in on their private ablutions, for example, and women at their toilette. Then you have a little known oil painting, Susanna and the Elders. It's a biblical theme by Franz Xavier Winterhalter from the mid-19th century. And Susanna discovers that she's being spied on while she's bathing by 2 lecherous men, the so-called elders. And then the robot, I actually work on Japanese robots, and this was an image from the poster for one of my lectures. This particular robot, she's known as HRP4C. Her nickname is Mime, M-I-I-M. She is ostensibly nude. I mean, when she's shown in public, she's usually clothed. So I call her a kind of robo-nuda. She's was made by the humanoid, by the National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology, sort of the Japanese MIT, and debuted in 2009. She's sort of a one-off robot who was used to experiment with bipedal walking. And I never got a complete or satisfactory answer from the roboticists as to why she had to have such anatomically, you know, accurate or realistic, so to speak, feminine body parts. I mean, it really is quite stunning. And if I turn her around, you'll actually see that she has what people call a butt crack. I mean, you're thinking, what, you know, is this necessary in a robot? It's a little bit bizarre. But her face was made from a composite photograph of the 5 secretaries who worked at the laboratory. And I have a feeling they didn't know what kind of robot body their face was going to be put on. So it's a little bit disturbing, but what's interesting, what came out, I guess, as a narrative for me was that these are three females who in the collage are linked by their subjection to what you might call a male gaze. And that has a lot of currency, certainly in my own field of anthropology, but also, a lot of feminist scholarship. But they turn to each other to seek protection and a kind of a re-identification through what we might call a female gaze. And this gaze transcends time and space and place. And it's a coalition that is inclusive of culture and ethnicity. And I myself have spent 25 years in Japan. I grew up in Japan. And I'm really kind of homesick not having been able to return for 2 years due to COVID, but hope to do so next year. But as I said, I wasn't thinking about all these associations when I made this particular collage. And so it was kind of interesting to have to go back to it after I received Sylvia's letter of congratulations and think, what can I say that sounds somewhat learned about all the associations that I kind of put into a dynamic relationship here. But anyway, I'm deeply honored and absolutely thrilled. And thank you again very, very much.
Well, congratulations, Jennifer. I really enjoyed your description and the what you discovered going back and discovered about this piece, because it makes it very has much meaning for all of us viewing it now, and it even increases the beauty and the understanding of it.
Thank you.
And so, thank you very much. I enjoyed hearing your discoveries. It's very nice. Well, I want to congratulate all of you that have won awards. I want to congratulate all of you that have pieces in the exhibit. And I think what we would like to do is give any of the other artists who have work in the show an opportunity to say something about their work.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen now so that if someone would like to speak about their work, I can bring up the image.
By the way, Barbara, someone I think had a question for one of
Yes,
the.
for Jean Hess. The question was whether her work is digital. Jean, are you there?
I think it is, but
Okay, I'm gonna have to unshare for a moment. And I'm having a little technical difficulty on my second monitor, but I'll be back in a moment.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are. Here's Jean.
I'm here. Hi.
Yes, Jean. So was that?
No.
Is your piece digital, Jean?
No, it is not. And I would love to have a continuing dialogue about digital versus primitive collage, because to me, the whole attraction of the process is the randomness of coming across things that are at hand. There's surprises that just come. It's an image in a magazine, it's an image from a friend, it's something that was discarded that you pick up. Once you start pulling images off the internet, it doesn't have that same feeling, I believe. So I'm kind of surprised that anybody would think this was digital. It's completely done by hand.
Well, thank you, Jean. It is It's remarkable.
Well, thank you. And really, I would love to talk more about it because I feel like they're two different categories. Does anybody else have a comment about that?
Well, this has been discussed, but it's a lengthy subject, and maybe we can take it up at a meeting one time.
It would be good to have somebody speak, and I know that we had a wonderful speaker last month, and she's very, very good at what she does. It just is something I feel like it's Mars versus Venus.
Well, there's a lot of discussion needs to be taken, but anyway, maybe it should be talked about, and we can do it at another time.
Sure.
Right now, I think that if there are anybody in the exhibit that would like to speak about their work, now's the time.
Yeah,
Let
if
me
you
just let everyone know they can raise their hand. It's usually down at the bottom where it says reactions. And there's a raise hand feature there. We'll keep an eye out for that. And also to Jean, there is going to be another fabulous lunar eclipse in about a week.
Another what?
Fabulous lunar eclipse.
Lunar.
Oh, my backdrop.
Yeah, also, if anybody wants to speak, they can indicate so in the chat. Just, give us a little chat message and we'll find you.
Okay.
I see Karen Schiffman's hand up.
Very good. Let me find her. Karen.
They're alphabetical, I think.
Yeah, there's another Karen. Let's go to Schiffman. Okay. Here she is.
Okay.
No, that's not you.
No, she was. That's wonderful.
Okay.
No,
The other way.
It should be right here. Yeah.
There.
hi, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who put the show together and to the Juror, because it's a great concept. This is not really typical of the work that I do. Most of my work has more of a Victorian quality to it, using vintage images, but I was experimenting here with texture paste on the bottom, and of course the idea of creating the sky out of a lot of little pieces of everything blue I could find in my stash in front of me. So of course, in response to what's been going on, I mean, one of the places that we can find a little bit of refuge is if we're fortunate enough to have our own gardens. For me, that is what it is, which is why this is a lovely day. So, and then of course, having the figure be anonymous almost with the flowers all over their face is like almost anybody, who looks could find, beauty in the garden. So that's where I was going with the piece. And, I try to work with a lot of layers. I'm an art historian, so I try to layer the history behind things, which is why I like to use a lot of old text. And that's basically it. And I just wanted to say thank you to Jean for responding. I'm with you, Jean, on the using your hands, because to me, what I enjoy about collage is the cutting and the pasting and the finding the images, the physicality of it. So again, I think there are two fields of thought about it. So thank you again for the opportunity here.
Thank you.
Okay, I see that Carol Blumenthal is next. Carol, which one of yours do you want me to spotlight? Carol? Am I muted?
I'm muted. Okay,
Oh.
I was muted. Inspiration, the Amanda Gorman one.
Okay,
Yeah,
here she is.
there she is.
Oh.
Okay. Well, unlike the previous two artists, I am primarily a digital collage artist. And I use only my own images. I never use anything off the internet or anything else. I do a lot of photography and I do a lot of photographic work that is not collage, but I enjoy blending photographs together and making a scenario. Well, this one, I mean, Amanda just blew me away on Inauguration Day. Such a lovely woman and with so much wisdom and a breath of fresh air. And at the same time, I took a picture of the Capitol building and her hairdo and her whole being kind of just worked beautifully with the with the Capitol as her headdress. And that's all it's about. And, you know, she just pleased me at a time and a day that was very hopeful for me and very, you know, she just was amazing. And that's it.
Beautiful.
And I feel just honored to have had it accepted into the show. Thank you.
Very
Thank you. We have SP Harper and Renee.
Okay. Let's see, find Harper.
I'm SB Harper. Should I speak or should I wait?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you go ahead and then we'll do Renee.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm a new member. This is my first year and I'm having a ball with it. And I love looking at all of your work and congratulations to all the artists in the show. This piece, it's 25 inches by 42 inches is behind me. Anyway, I name all of my pieces. I work in abstract geometrics and it mostly follows gem cut. My grandfather was a diamond cutter. I just love them to look at. I mean, look at my wedding ring. I don't own too many, but I just like them as still lifes. So, and I named them after fire gods. And this one is called Caucus. And it's kind of fun to research the fire god. Caucus is a Roman god, and Caucus was a giant who breathed fire, and he was the son of Vulcan. And Vulcan is another one of my paintings. Vulcan is also a god of fire. So this is acrylic, watercolor, charcoal, ink, gold and silver leaf on repurposed wallpaper. I'm eco-centric and I do 3D collages. You can see behind me. I made these steps out of, that's a milk crate and those are door hinges, only recycled bits and pieces. This one's a little highly personal because I lost my mom a year and a half ago. And that background grid pattern was her wallpaper. You know, it was like a little, you know how you keep extras of your wallpaper. I found it when I was going through her things. And I mixed in with those other materials I brought to attention, some of her wrapping papers and some of her, anyway, so it says a lot about her as well in this particular piece. So thank you for watching and thank you. Congratulations to everybody. You're very talented.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have Renee and then Phoebe 50.
Okay. Hi, it's Rini. And could you please pull up David?
I'm sorry, David?
Yes.
There must be more than one David here.
Smoller. Well, my last name
we'll
is
get you
Smoller.
that way. There you are. Actually, you have a couple here. Is this the one you wanted to show or the other?
No, the other one.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so some of you may know some of this story because I've posted other pieces from this series called Us. And this is extremely personal for me. I am at the moment a digital artist. All of the photographs that I use are mine. And then I paint extensively in Photoshop. So I don't want to have two camps. I think there's room for everyone. If they consider themselves collage artists, then so be it, whether they use paste or their computer. This is definitely a collage. So at any rate, I had a 43-year search for my biological father. And because my mother didn't tell me I was adopted until I was 23. And she was my biological mother, but my father, who I thought was my father, was not. And when at the age of 66, through ancestry.com, I found a first cousin. And I can't even tell you, after 43 years of searching, what that did to me. It was just an incredible experience, both sad and happy, and just lots and lots of tears. And I found out that my father's name was David Persky, and that I'm related to Lauren Bacall and Shimon Perez, two very unlikely guests that you would have at a dinner party. But at any rate, I, through bits and pieces and other relatives that he introduced me to via phone, email, so forth and so on, I put together a picture of my father, because he has already passed. And it turns out that he's buried 20 minutes from me. Imagine, after 43 years of searching to find that out. And so from the bits and pieces that I know about him, I made this collage. And it's not a total painting, which I do, but it's not that, because I don't know all of him. I don't know all of his life. So what I know is there. And the first picture I saw of him was a picture from his high school. And I cried for 2 days. And then I sat down and I started creating at the age of 66. I hadn't done that before. I'm a retired teacher. And so there's a series of 9 pieces. Some of them are paintings, some of them are these collages, called Us. And this was the very first one that I did. And there he is, as much as I know. And I wanted to pay tribute to him. So there you go.
Thank you. I think next person is Penny Fien.
I think it's Phoebe 50.
Oh,
Yeah, Phoebe 50 is Penny Fine.
yeah,
For some reason, it wouldn't let me rename myself. So
right. Now you have 3 pieces. Which one would you like me to spotlight?
how about the one with the bird?
The bird. Okay.
Yeah. I'm choosing to speak about this one because it literally was put together by picking up pieces off the ground. And the idea behind it is that while everyone was forced to stay home, there was a lot of healing that happened in the animal kingdom, in the parks, and various other areas. So that was the idea behind this. Usually I work with vintage images from the 20th century. In this case, all of it came from one magazine and a travel magazine, and my walks in my neighborhood. So That's pretty much what this one is about.
Thank you. I don't see anybody else. I see a lot of congratulations. If you want to take a look at the chat, each one of you, there are all sorts of wonderful congratulations and comments. You might want to take a look at them. Does anybody else want to talk about their work? Okay. Pat?
Pat took over.
Sylvia? Somebody?
All right, here I am.
Okay.
Well, it was lovely hearing about people's work, isn't it? I was thinking, should I say something about mine? But
Yes,
Go ahead.
I think not.
yes, yeah. Now,
Let me look at it and then I'll tell you.
Yeah,
Okay.
here you go. Yeah, talk about it.
I will a little bit because this was a piece of wood. My uncle, who was my stand-in father, had a liquor store, and when the store closed, it became Gelson's. It's over on Laurel Canyon and Riverside. And anyway, this piece of wood, he took some of the panels and helped me create my studio, and used it to section off an area in the studio as a separate area. Anyway, this piece of wood just kind of was left there for many, many years. And I just thought it was such an interesting piece of wood. And so here it stands as a fence, and has some of my symbols in it, the triangle that's more like a spiral, and the spiral sun and moon and so forth, that for me always symbolizes the universe and all things being part of the universe. And the shadow figure in the back was just reaching for the stars and trying to find a spiritual path. So this piece I was just for me, and I was very surprised and delighted that it was selected for the show. And I guess that's it. I had one other thing to say, but I forgot. Anyway, thank you for listening.
Okay.
thank you. That's amazing. So that's where Gelson's was?
It was right there. Yeah, there was a whole Stevens Nursery used to be there, but not the newer one. The old one was on Laurel Canyon, with a liquor store and a real estate and some other store. It was an interesting childhood. I used to sit and read comic books at that he sold I used to sit on the sidewalk and read comic books.
Wow. We have some amazing history here in the Valley.
Yeah.
Just for example, thinking about Tapia Brothers, for example, the farm stand. They've been there forever.
Yeah.
And we keep fighting to keep the city from taking any of their farmland that's remaining for sports fields.
Yes, thank you, Pat, for all the work you do. I see what you do, and it's really wonderful. Now I want to I just want to mention that just to remind you all that to see the CAA Facebook page, because it always is filled with beautiful and wonderful creations. And to remind you also of our CAA newsletter, is always filled with news, interesting information, and art from some of our members. So be sure and open it if you receive a copy of it. And also those of you who are not members, please consider joining and become a member so you have more opportunities than just the one annual entering of a show. If there is, do you think we should open for a discussion and just an open time? I think what I'll do is say thank you for joining us tonight. And if we want to, we'll close the reception, but we can leave open for a few minutes to see if anybody wants to have an open discussion, chit chat. Okay? I'm sorry that you couldn't all join us for beverages like we did in person, and snacks and wine and what have you. But I'm so happy you joined us tonight, and thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. I'm certainly glad to leave it open. People can simply unmute themselves and talk. They can, they should be able to interact just fine through chat. I will be, this is being recorded, so when I do shut it off, I'll turn the video into a YouTube video, and we'll get it up on the website in a couple of days.
Thank you, Pat, and thank you, Barbara, for hosting us and putting this together. Remarkable and wonderful job. Thank you, Pat, Barbara. Thank you.
Thank you. We love working with you. I love this stuff. You know what I'm finding. I've gotten a little bit busy with a few things, and I don't have time to do oil painting, and sometimes I get frustrated with photography, and I love doing collage. I just love it. It is, for some reason, it just resonates with me. So
We
I
need you,
cannot wait
Pat.
until
Time to join up, Pat.
I
Yep,
know,
we
I
need
know,
you.
I know.
We love
I
you.
can't wait until we're meeting in person. We can do a workshop. I know I've been at some of the co-op workshops, and we, you know, some of my best pieces that I've been trying to kind of tidy, and I've got like 4 of them out in the living room. They're collage pieces I did in figure drawing maybe 3 years ago. And I like them better than anything I've done. And it's very unusual that I like anything I've done. So I've got to say, I'm afraid you may have to put up with me at some point in the future.
Looking forward to it, Pat. You're very creative. I love all your photography. Blows me away.
Thank you. And I'm going to wander away and leave this open for a while. And if people want to interact, that's fabulous. So.
Okay, can you put it so that all the images show up?
It depends on your device, how many images will show up.
Oh, yeah, I know, but right now it's featuring you, for example.
Oh, go to your upper right-hand corner and click on gallery view.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
where you see a little matrix view.
Thank you.
Okay.
I know that, but I didn't know it. Okay, everybody, I may slip away, but please enjoy yourselves.
Congratulations, everyone. I love this group. So
Oh, Lauren.
We love you, Lauren.
Lauren is one of our new members, and she joined the board, and she's just a delight and does such wonderful work for us. We love her.
And we've never met her in person. It's all been on Zoom.
Yeah.
We
She
just love
probably
each
really
other.
does have a back.
Yeah. So listen, I really hope that some of you who are not members will consider joining. It's really a great group, and we're real supportive. We do a lot of great things, and it's nice to, as membership chair, to see some of the people I've been corresponding with and sending letters, welcome letters to, and it's just so nice to see faces. So miss you, Lauren.
I miss you all. Well, I'll have to meet in person at some point.
I used to be the publicity chair as well as the membership chair. And Lauren came into our lives, and she has just done a great job. So it's,
we have a lovely gal, it's Marilyn Stemple, who has offered to help with exhibits chair responsibilities. But any of you who are interested in learning about how to put together exhibits and and work on a staff with exhibits, you are welcome. Please think about joining us. Okay, anybody else have things to say?
Well, I'm going to say good night and congratulations to everyone.
I too will say congratulations to everyone in the show and that entered the show and that have won awards. And I will say good night.
Yes. Good night.
And I think I will say goodnight. Congratulations to everyone. This is an amazing and really fun group. And they
Thank
aren't
you,
all
Pat.
fun.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you.
Thank you,
Well
Sylvia.
done.
Thank you very much. Night.
Good night.